Hey guys, welcome to MGD 112 Adobe Illustrator. I'm your instructor, Jessica Eddington, and I wanted to take a few minutes to go over the course so you can get oriented to it and make sure that you have everything you need. So this is currently the course homepage. You can always tell you're on the homepage by this image that you see here, or you can always get back to it by clicking on course home right here. The first thing I want you to do is make sure you always look at the announcements every time you come into class, because these are going to be the important announcements. There'll be weekly overviews, sometimes tutorial videos, sometimes the software did something weird and so I have a solution for you here. So it's really important to pay attention to those announcements. The other thing I want you to be aware of are these three helpful links. Actually, they're all helpful. But this first one you need to do, it's a D2L system check. So I'll right click and open this in a new tab. And I'm going to come over here and it says all checks passed, and that means everything's okay and D2L is going to work perfectly for me. If it doesn't say all checks passed, it should tell you how to fix those. If not, and if you don't know how, then come back here and here's two different helpful things for you. First, this is online tutoring. This is actually for the content in the course. So if you need help with tutoring in Illustrator, you can definitely do this. If you are having technical issues like that system check, which you might not pass and then therefore you don't know how to fix it, but it should tell you, but just in case. Or let's say something's not working or your Dropbox isn't, you're not able to upload an assignment, whatever it is, this help desk is 24/7. They should be able to help you out. The one piece of advice I give you for this is always take pictures of your screen to show people what's happening, show the error. That'll also be evidence for me. So if like you can't turn something in because it's doing something weird, take a video or a photo of it so that I know, and make sure you include the date and time on your computer system so that I can ensure that I grade you correctly for it or give you extra time. So if for some reason they can't help you with this, or it's taking a long time, make sure to let me know, because I have other resources that I can reach out to, other people, other ways of trying to figure something out. So if you're stuck, make sure and let me know. All right, so at the top of the course, you'll see the navigation bar. The majority of the time you're going to spend in your content area, because the assignments and discussions are actually already linked in here for you. Let me just switch to student view so you can see kind of what it looks like as a student. So I'll go back to the content area, and the first thing you're going to do is you can go through this Start Here module, and this is just making sure that you're ready for D2L, how to use D2L, kind of like this video, so you can definitely do that. But what's mandatory is that you go over this course syllabus. This tells you the expectations I have for you in this course, how I'll grade you in this course. It actually has a 15-week schedule, which is really important. This tells you exactly what discussions and assignments are due every single week. So make sure you go to that, and I would actually recommend that you print it out and put it by your computer so you have easy access. Then as you go through here, you'll see this eText module. This is where you're going to get your textbook. It's a part of the course, so it's not an extra cost. And what you're going to need to do is go to this course start, and it's going to open up a CCC online knowledge base, and it's just 2 PDFs. This is if you're a brand new user to VitalSource, which is basically like a library of textbooks. And if you already have existing VitalSource account, this gives you a PDF showing you how to access it. So you can download one of those PDFs and it'll have screenshots to tell you how to access it. And the reason why you need that is because I could show you right here, but because I've already set mine up, or I've had a VitalSource account for years, it's not going to actually show you. It's just going to open up into the book. So when you click here, this is how you're always going to get to the book from here on out. When you click here, it should open up into your book automatically. Now, I can't demonstrate this for you because, again, I've already done it. But if you have never done this before, what's going to happen is you're going to click on that link. It's going to open up in a new tab, but it won't show you the book yet. It'll basically tell you, are you a new account user, or are you a new user? Create an account. Are you an existing user? Sign in. So you do one of those two options. And then when you do, once you sign in, it's going to kind of remember the ISBN, the code for this book. And it's going to say, do you want to add this to your library or something to that effect? And you'll just hit yes, like you want to add it to your library. And that's all there is to it. The other thing to be aware of is this version of the textbook in VitalSource doesn't have tutorial videos, which is kind of a bummer. And I'm actually going to accept these cookies. You should do that too, which is kind of a bummer because you have a lot of really good videos in this Illustrator textbook. So what I would do is if you come over here to the third link in this module, it says accessing web edition instructions. This is a different version of the book that actually includes videos. So if you click on this, this is going to open up a PDF. And when that opens up, it'll show you that first you need to go into your book and choose where are the lesson files, and then follow the instructions provided in those in that page. So if I go back to this book, I'm going to go to where are the lesson files, and it says go to adobepress.com Illustrator CIB 20, and it's going to ask you again, do you have an account? Sign in. If you don't have an account, create an account. And so once you do that, it's going to, again, remember that code for that textbook, but it's going to do something, and it's going to do something like, what's the third word in step 3 in chapter 3? So you have to come back to your book, go to chapter 3, and you're going to look for step 3. So there's step 3, and the third word is open. So you type that in, and then it verifies that you have a copy of the book. And then this will always open, it's going to look almost exactly the same, except for it's going to have tutorial videos that demonstrate those concepts. So it's up to you if you, whichever one you want to use. The videos are really helpful, but it's up to you. All right. So moving on with the class, if I go back to this table of contents, every time you come in here, you're going to be working in a module. It's like a unit in the class. And some modules last for 2 weeks, some last for 3 weeks, I think. So just know that it's going to cover a lot. And there's always things that you can read or view in here. So there's going to be the lessons files that you can download as a zip folder and extract. And then you can also view this exploration, which is required for this particular module. This is the discussion that's happening in this module. And then you also have the assignments. Notice that these assignments have different due dates. So if I go to this Illustrator assignment, this one is due January 31st, and this one is due February 7th. So, excuse me. Sorry about that. So just know that even though it's module 1, it could cover multiple weeks. So don't think you have to do all those assignments just in the very first week. So as you can see, all these other modules, we only have 5 in the course, but we have 15 weeks in the class. So again, it covers multiple weeks. All right, last, or actually second to last, discussions. Those are already linked in that content area, as I said, but here's where you can see all of the discussions. Assignments actually are here as well, so you can see all the due dates right then and there. But again, those are linked in content. And the only other place that you'll probably go is grades. And this is where you'll be able to see what points you've gotten and any notes from me. And so you can check what's happening in the course. And somewhere I think up here will be like the course grade overview, like your overall grade for the course. So you can check that every week after I've graded. All right. So the last thing is email. So if you want to email somebody in your class, you'll go to the class list and you'll click on them, including me. You can click on me to send me an email. And then just remember that D2L is an internal email system. So it's only going to go to my D2L account, which is fine because when I get it, I should see this little red dot up here or orange dot that you have emailed me. If for some reason that's not working, in the syllabus, I've listed my email, and actually it should be in this announcement right here, but it's not. So I'll fix that. But let's go to content, syllabus, and go to instructor information. And there's my email right there. So that's my outside email. You have to use it from your Gmail or your outside email as well. You can't do it from D2L. But that gives you 2 ways that you can contact me. All right, I think that's a good basic general overview. If you have any questions, let me know.